Good morning, Chavirim Yikarim. We are in Likutei Moharan. We are learning in the Misgeret of Litayed B'Torato, which is a wonderful, wonderful program of learning in Likutei Moharan worldwide, following one Torah. When you're going to meet a Breslever, many chances he's going to be in the same Torah as you, so you can chazek together. We've now got into something. We've not got really into the depth of the Torah, Ronnie. And we now have access to a gift that Rabbeinu is giving us. And the gift is called Makifim. So what we're speaking about till now, like we said many times, is giving over dat. Share, teach, build your Yirat Shamayim, purify yourself. And when you do that, the knowledge that you're going to give over to others, you're actually freeing up memory in your brain, in your soul, to be able to take a new makif, a new asaga. The most pleasurable thing that there could be in existence is knowing Hashem. The Zohar says we came to this world only to know Hashem. There's no other reason for our existence. Knowledge of Hashem is le'at le'at. The same way a child learns Aleph and then Bet and Gimel and then Kamatz and Patach and Sereh and then puts words together, there is hasagot. There's a new makif. There's a new understanding. There's a new download. How do you get the new download when you've started to reach certain levels? One is called Pnimi and one is called Makif. What you know is what you know, it's inside of you. What you don't know, what you'd love to know, which above you, is called Makif. Or Makif. The Makif is a sechem. Rabbeinu told us yesterday in Odvav, which we're still in Odvav in the middle, Ki karov elecha davar me'od. Beficha ubidvavecha nasoto. You want to get the thing that's called me'od. You want to go get that new knowledge, that new asaga, that new understanding of the way Hashem runs the world, of the Torah itself, which is one with Hashem. It's karov in it. You want to bring it karov necha, adavar me'od, that things which seems to be out of reach. Yeah, they told me that, trust in Hashem, don't worry about the parnasah, and it's all from Him, but I don't live it, I don't feel it. I feel if I don't go to work 8 hours a day, I'm not going to make the money. I'm not able. And another person has asaga that it's pashut. What in the world does it make a difference if I work 4 hours or 8 hours? What difference does it make? Does it make any difference? It's ridiculous. Hashem needs me to give me money. He's controlling the stars and the moon and the sun and the constellation and inside of my body. Ask any doctor the miracle that's going on inside of your body every day that you're alive. They can go to the washroom. And Hashem needs me to sell something to give me money. Come on, it's a joke. But it's a saga, it's a makif. One guy doesn't even know that it exists. What do you mean that Hashem gives money? You work, you get money. Another guy knows Hashem gives the money. But I know it, but I'm not living it. I get scared. I get nervous. I'm panicking. If I'm not there, the client, what am I going to do? I'm going to stay an extra hour for the shiur. It's impossible. I got to rush out to work. I'm going to go to Uman. My boss is going to fire me. These things are, you could know what's written, but you cannot live it. When you get the asaga, it just clicks. It comes in. All of a sudden, it's one with me. It could be through Advar Torah. It could be through an experience. It could be through, an idbodedut, where it just becomes clear to you. But there is a moment where the makif becomes pnim. And then you're the guy that says, I'm sorry. I'm not working 8 hours a day. I'm working 4 hours a day. Because Hashem in that 4 hours can send me all the clients I need. Because I have a lot to do over here. Rabbeinu give us a big diet, a big program. I gotta go to mikveh. I gotta say Bodhidu. I gotta say Tilim. I gotta learn Halakha. I gotta learn Chassidut. I go into Shiur Gemara. 1 second. I gotta take time for my kids. I gotta have Shalom Bayit with my wife. I gotta take out my wife. Hey, what do you want me to do over here? I got Chol HaMoed. I got all these things. So I'm sorry, I can't work. But how are you gonna have money? It's me making the money. One guy is living it, and then some people they don't have to work at all. Rabbeinu doesn't work. He's not going to open a store. Why not? How is he going to have money? He's not worried about that. He's not worried about having money. He's worried how to make sure that Am Yisrael does tshuva and bring the Mashiach. That's what he's worried about. So one guy, it's not even on his radar to even believe that there's a concept of divine providence, that a person can have a parnasah in an easy way. The rich people are not from salaries. You can have a good salary, and even a good doctor, a good lawyer. You can have a good salary and live good. But the real rich people, it's deals. In one deal, he closes one deal, he makes $1 million. One deal, 2 deals, real estate. Hashem can do anything he wants. You think that you working that hourly salary is giving you the money? Expand the consciousness, expand the mochin. One guy, it's not on his radar, and that's called, it's not even a makif. One guy, another person, it's a makif. Yeah, I believe it. I know the rabbis are right. I know the Gemara is true. I know it, but I'm scared. I'm not living it yet. It's a makif. Then you have a person that it's so pnimi, it's so inside of him that it's not even pnimi. So let's go back again one more time with that. You have a guy that it's for him out of his league. You have another guy that it's a makif. You have another guy that's living it. That's called pnimi. I'm living it. It's pashut for me. I open my store at 12. I close at 5, and I do 5 hours there, and the rest of the day I'm with Hashem, and I believe whatever Hashem wants to give me can give me those 5 hours. He's living it, and he's doing it well, and he's seeing results. And then another guy, he doesn't even have to talk about it. It's not pnimi by him. It's lower than pnimi. It's autopilot. It's so natural that it's not that I have to explain to you what I'm doing. There's no havamina, there's no thought otherwise even to entertain at all a thought of going to work for 5 hours, of going to work for an hour. It's not even, I don't know what you're talking about. And then there's a tzaddik, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, that when he sees people, at the beginning, when he sees people going to work, his eyes burns them. How could you waste your precious time to go to work? Who's going to learn the Torah? Let the goyim work. And then he calmed down and he realized that you can let people, everybody has his own level. There are many levels, but it's called a makif. How do you get the makif? How do you get the karov? כי קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד בפיך ובלבביך לעשותו. So there are certain things that are out of your league, but there are certain things that you're there. We're in Ot Hei Shaul. No, in Ot Vav, second paragraph.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just saying what.
I thought makif is only like knowledge, so it's not just knowledge.
It's not only a knowledge.
It's
A makif becomes pnimi. It's part of me. It's part of my DNA. I'm living it. It's pnimi. I got it.
So anything
For the second one?
Could be knowledge. Could be knowledge of a pshat, of a Gemara we're going to see. Could be knowledge of the Zohar. Could be knowledge of this. It could also be living something. The same thing we're going to see. You want to understand more something in the Gemara, we're going to see the Rabbeinu says. Many times you have a Rebbe, he's teaching a Gemara, and he's Gemara Rashi Tosfot, and all of a sudden he has a problem, he has a kushya. We're going to see later the Rabbeinu is going to give this exact example. It happens all the time. If you're in a position of teaching, you see it all the time. You're teaching, 1 second, I have a problem over here. You don't have an answer. Guys, I have a problem. Here's the problem with the Gemara. What do you guys say? As I say the question, the answer to the problem, oh, actually we could say it like this. So you're explaining what is pnimi by you. It's clear to me, this Gemara, Rashi Tosfot. But since I'm explaining that, I just came out a question, I didn't realize. When I'm preparing the Gemara at home, it seemed to me glad kosher. When I'm giving it over, there's an inconsistency over here. When I share with you that's a makif. When I share with you the inconsistency, what I just did is I got the makif, and now I share with you the new makif, and then I get the answer, which is another makif.
Can you translate makif?
Hovering above you, surrounding you. And it's a way of saying that there's some things which are inside your head and some just above. You know, when you go buy the vending machine, you buy there's sometimes they don't have all the same item. So you want to buy this mizanot, but you want the one in back. There's a mizanot. The kid wants to eat the mizanot in back. He wants this Danish, not this cookie. Now the vendor he put in, so he has cookies and he has Danishes. So here you put cookies. Now the next one is the Danish. You want the Danish? What are you gonna do? You gotta buy the cookie. You buy the cookie, the coil there turns, the cookie falls, and now the Danish comes into the next slot. So if you buy another one, you're gonna get the Danish. The Danish is makif, out of reach. It's actually makif l'makif. It's double out of reach. You got to get first. For example, let's explain that the cookie is your panimi, it's yours. When you empty out the cookie, comes in the Danish to the next slot. So whatever you know, if you're in the habit of giving it over, explaining it with Yirat Shamayim, you just freed up your mind to be able to receive the next information, which is in the totem pole of Ein Sof Dargot levels, infinite levels of knowledge of Hashem. So the sigula of having a chavruta, of having a talmid, helping somebody learn. Everybody has somebody they could help. Everybody's somebody they can teach. So you got to have a Rebbe to teach you, but you got to teach talmidim as well. Always. You have to be involved in sharing your knowledge, to speak to other people in Yirat Shamayim. When you give over Yirat Shamayim, you get a new download of Yirat Shamayim. Rabbeinu once said, I told you this before, I now have reached levels that I never knew existed. I've reached levels that I never aspired to reach because I didn't know that they existed. So imagine which levels exist now that I don't know about. Is that clear? I don't have on my radar to start fixing neshamot. I'm not even aware of how to see a neshama, to start fixing a neshama and putting him in the right place in Gan Eden. You know how to do that? The guy doesn't even know Chumash. So he's thinking about Marsha. I want to know the Chumash. Give me Kitzur Shulchan Aruch and give me Chumash. It's a makif. It's my makif is to start to get into the Gemara. I wish. Another guy, for him, Gemara is like water. He learned the Shas already 5 times. And Tosfot for him, he's working on Tosfot. And the next guy is not the Tosfot, the Kushiot on Tosfot. It's a makif for him. And the next guy, he knows the Shas, he knows the Halacha, he knows the Rambam, he knows everything. For him, he's looking at the Arizah, how am I going to get into Arizah? It's a makif. Everything is a makif. And then above the Arizah and above the Yichudim, and then you have Tikkun Neshamot, and all things where Rabbeinu is actually, once there's a Torah Chabet, where Rabbeinu said that he was in Sham, he had a vision, and he's told over, he was in Shamayim, and they gave him his Parnasah for the whole year, and he wanted to go into a certain Echam, into a certain, yeshiva, and there was a guard over there, and he wouldn't let him in, and he took all his Parnasah for the year, and he gave it to the guard to bribe him, that he got into the Echam, and he got a Torah over there, and then he told Torah Chabet. Understand what that means? What's Rabbenu's makif? So there are places that you don't know exist to even want to get there. I see the next level above me. I'm really aspiring to get it. So I sort of have a touch of it. Sort of feel that there's something above it. It's called a makif. But there's makif on top of makif on top of makif and makif. How do you get to the next one? This, unload the truck. You want to fill up new merchandise in the truck? Unload. You have a store. You want to get in the new products. I can't give the old products, last year's products. I gotta get the new products. Do a sale. Get a sale. Get it out. Sell it on Amazon. I need room for the new merchandise, my storage. So get rid. Same thing with Torah. You have Torah, very good, you hold it to yourself. Chavan. Take it even at a loss. It's a good mashal. You have I'm willing to settle a loss. Why are you selling it at a loss? I'm willing to settle a loss because I'm going to get the new stuff. I'm going to get good profits on the new merchandise. It's a loss for me to sit and talk to you. I could be learning much more. And so I'm going to sit with this guy and I'm going to start to explain to him.
So Rabbi David, the one who's only studying for himself and is not...
He's lacking.
He's not getting
get
knowledge.
could he download those makifim even if he's not...
Listen.
Because you see a lot of Talmidei Chachamim, they seclude themselves and yet they seem to have a lot of that.
Listen, there's no person that's locked in a room. Everybody has a kid that he's teaching, his kids, his wife, at the table. And you have people that you interact with. And, a chavruta could be a makif. But the more you teach, the more you give, the more you're getting, you're going to get. Rav Moshe said, a Talmid Chacham has to give maaser of his time. Rav Moshe Feinstein. The same way you give maaser of your money, you give maaser of your time. You're learning all day for yourself, please. People are thirsty. People want to learn. People need Torah. How can you keep it for yourself? If the business is for you, Rabbi Shaul, if it's my business, you know, it's like this. You were a manager, right? Many employees. You have one guy that he wants to make the sale for himself. Because I want my paycheck. I'm not going to share. I'm not going to give my tricks. I'm not going to give my contacts. I got to be the performer here. I'm going to get my bonus. You have another guy that he's helping everybody. Here, call this guy. Here's a good trick. Here's a tip. Why are you doing that? Because my father's the boss. My father's the owner of the company. I'm happy for every sale that has because my father is matzliach. We have to get out of this shtus of my personal score in Avodat Hashem. What's Hashem's score? That every Jew will be close to it. Every Jew will be growing. So when I have that frame of mind, yeah, it's a loss for me in my personal time. But the company's growing, the team is, I'm taking one for the team. Last night, I had a friend, a good friend, came to visit me. Came at Chatzot to the shul. And I schmoozed with him, talking to him. It was a pleasure. He was a good friend. But I have a seder. And my seder was on pause. Chatzot Laila. Chatzot Laila. I have a seder. And I try to do my seder. But I gave my time to somebody else. But imagine, if I can give him one idea that's going to help him in his family and in his Avodat Hashem. Well, I'm partnered with him on all those successes for years. So it's true I took an hour, half an hour, whatever it was. And it's true maybe I didn't advance my seder. But the team got a score. And guess what? When the team gets a score, I get a score. Because really it's not the example that I told you. Because actually maybe it is. Because when you are successful because of me, I give you some information, I just get a bonus. My bonus is another chap, another nimud, another chizuk, another wow, another it clicked. Doesn't happen to you sometimes? You heard, you know, I just now, I heard something recently which opened up my horizons for Lech Lecha. How many times I read the Rashi? How many times? And just now it clicked by me. I couldn't believe it. And it opened me doors in many other things. Once you have, you know, the Torah is maftechot. It's klalim, it's agdamot. Once I understood this little piece of Lech Lecha, it makes to me clear a lot of other things. In Divrei Rabbeinu, in different things, in Shas, in everywhere. You can plug it in everywhere. It's all agdamot. You can plug and explain everywhere. Now you have another piece of the puzzle. I'm just saying, maybe I'm very simple and pashut, but it says over there that Abraham Avinu, Hashem didn't tell him where he's going. Lech Lecha. Doesn't tell him where he's going. So it says over there in Rashi, and Chazal said Midrash, it's to give him more merit. So if you know where you're going, it's easy. It's easy, but if you don't know where you're going, it's hard. It's hard. The Rosh Chabura, the lover Zechel Tov, Talmid Chacham, he said over something from the Stipler and just put it in context. And finally, okay, now I get it. When you are having difficulty in going somewhere, it's hard for you. When you get there, you appreciate it that much more. Also, it's a little bit harder when you don't know where you're going. That I understood. Okay, that I understood. It's hard to, where are you going? I don't know. It's more nisayon. When I have my days and my plan and my trip and my GPS, it's easy. But if I don't know where I'm going, where am I going? It's a little bit hard. Nisayon harder. But here, another side of the coin is that in order, how is it, because I didn't tell you that it says over there, to give him more chibuv of the Aretz. That was what was missing. By not telling where you're going, you're going to love Eretz Yisrael more. How does that work? Why is that? And he said it's so simple, and it makes so much sense. When you had to struggle for something, at the end, you really appreciate what you got. It's so simple. It's so simple, but I just never sat well in my mind. Now it is mityashev, and I start to understand a lot of other things from that. That means that a guy doesn't have kids for many years. That kid for him is, not to say not everybody loves his kid, but when you had to struggle for something, when you had to struggle, years of parnasa difficult, And then all of a sudden you got the idea and Hashem gave you. You know how that guy appreciates God and the gift you give me? When I don't know where I'm going to, Rabbi Natan didn't know where he was going. Did you know that? When Rabbeinu passed away, everything was in remez to Rabbi Natan. Everything was hinted to him. Everything was not clear what he's supposed to do. Rabbi Natan went to see different rabbis when Rabbeinu passed away. He didn't know he was going to become the manig and set up the whole system that we're living now. So when you don't know where you're going, and it's hard, and you have difficulties, and you end up succeeding and accomplishing and getting something, wow, what an appreciation I have because of the struggle. So that's something so simple that just last week, I digested it more. But what is that called? That's called a makif. You got a new hasaga, and your life will be the culminations and the additions of all those new hasagot. Those new knowledges that you're getting daily, eventually you're part of your neshama, and that's called to grow in your service to Hashem. How what are you doing every day? You're sitting in the same chair every day. You're just, learning the same book every day. What are you doing? Don't you know that every day I'm getting a new deposit? I'm getting new deposits over here. So the more that you give over, the more you're freeing yourself up for a new deposit, which is called the makif. Chazak v'aruch. You gotta stop me at 20. I don't want to go.